Okay, we're going to go ahead and bottle Kefir water, pulling out the lemon and the fig first with my slotted spoon, plastic, no metal, unless it's stainless steel. Sorry, I had to throw those out. And then we have a funnel, plastic, and a strainer, plastic. Funnel in the bottle, strainer on top. And I didn't put an eggshell in this one. I did the last one. This one I did a pinch of baking soda for calcium. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour it into the strainer. Catching my grains in the strainer that are coming through. Oh, that's a bit too much. Put my grains back in here. Onto the next bottle. Now, I put a bit too much in here, so I'm just going to pour it off into this bottle, as I want to save plenty of room for fruit and flavorings and still have a good couple inches at the head. So, there we go. That should be enough for, woohoo! Okay, my cup runneth over. I have to get one more bottle. So there we are for starters. So now on to the flavorings. Now I'm going to do a raspberry limeade, which is going to be sour without the addition of some sugar. So I've got some raw turbinado here, and I'm going to add almost a tablespoon to my kefir here with a funnel to get it through this, this little neck here, which it's not going through. Okay, and I've squeezed one whole lime, and I'll go ahead and put that in. One lime in, and now my raspberries. I have frozen them because I couldn't use them all in my kefirs when I got them, so I'm going to cut them in half to get them through the neck of the bottle and just pop them through. And I think I did about 6 or 8 of them here. 5, 6, that's 3, 7, okay, maybe 9. I'm just popping those in there. And there I have a raspberry limeade with a little extra turbinado sugar for fun and flavor. And I want to make sure this bottle top is nice and clear of debris, and the stopper is clear of debris. Clamp it down, and I'm just going to roll this because I put that sugar in there. And I'd like to dissolve it without shaking this up too much because it already has a little bit of carbonation just from the first ferment. And I don't want to stir it up too much. So I'll see if my sugar has settled. I still have a little bit. Roll a little more. And I think that's good now. Put him aside. Now this one I'm going to do ginger mango. And I have some dehydrated ginger. Oh! Whoops, sorry. Okay, where did we put that? Well, okay, we'll go for the crystallized ginger, and I'll try to get this back in place here. Crystallized ginger they have at Whole Foods. I did dehydrate some of my own, but I can't seem to find it without a big ordeal right now, so this is handy. You can use fresh ginger. I've also frozen ginger and I'll just peel it right off of the frozen root and put it right in. So this is just 2 good sized crystallized pieces of ginger. And this is going to be ginger mango. I also dehydrated some mango slices. Now I did one of these the other day and probably put the equivalent of maybe 2 mangoes in there, and I had an explosion. So we don't want to over mango. So there's one, and I just snipped these with my scissors to put in here, my clean scissors. And this will probably be plenty. I don't want to have another explosion. So there's my mango with ginger. And I think that maybe because these are so small, I'm going to go ahead and kick this back into them. I was going to make another little separate one, but it's not quite, they're not quite filled enough, so I won't do a mini one. That's plenty right there. Make sure there's no debris. Clamp it down. And let's add some more to this guy. Oh, he's already popped a little bit from carbonation. Actually, that's probably enough right there. And that is our second ferment. We have raspberry limeade and mango ginger. So, on to the next video. Now it's time to start another batch. So, in my glass brewing jar here, I've added some purified water, and I'm giving them a little bath. And I'm going to take them and strain them, and I have this really big strainer with big holes, which is okay because my grains are really big and mature and they're not going to go through it. So now I'm going to strain them. I wish you could see this. Here we go. I'm going to just strain them through here, catch them in the strainer. A little bit left in there. I'm going to put that down and shake them out. And I've got way more than I started with. Let's come over here and have a look. So here's my big strainer, and I'm just going to tap it, tap it, tap it to get all the excess water off. Whoops. Grains are jumping ship on me. Let me pull this off the charger so we can move. So here's my grains in the sink, and you can see they're pretty big. They're big suckers. Whoops, where's the camera? And they've been rinsed, and they're ready for the next brew. And now I have excesses of grains. So what I'm going to do with these, if I can fit them, is put them in this jar that I've prepared with sugar water, with the turbinado sugar, and I'm just going to store them in the fridge. And I pulled my backup grains out, and I'll be using those to start my next brew. Still lots of water coming off of those, so I'm going to tap them a little more. Now if you have small grains, you don't want to use a strainer that has holes this large. You want to use a nice fine mesh nylon or stainless steel strainer, and that will work just fine for you until your grains get big and plump like these guys. And if they're good grains and healthy and you're feeding them well, they will get big and plump like these guys. So there's my backup. Now this goes into the refrigerator, and I'll pull it out to sell some, and I'll pull it out to do my next brew. That strainer's done, and these are my backup grains, and I can put a lid on those, but I'm just going to put a plastic on them with a rubber band, and they go in the fridge, and they go pretty dormant in the fridge. I would change the sugar water about every week if you don't use them, and try not to keep them longer than 2 weeks before you do another brew with them to feed them.